ones who are trying to tell you how big your sodas can be and whether or not you have to wear helmets and whether there has to be a warning label on this skateboard or whether or not how much your thermostat is going to be set at. They're the ones who are telling you what to do and want to be left alone. Well, the second thing we have to sell people on, private property. How do you sell them on private property? I did a speech at Oberlin College. I mentioned this earlier. Oberlin is the most liberal college in America. Oberlin College is where reason and logic go to die. And I asked these students, I said, how many of you up there consider yourselves to be socialists? And 7 of them, 7 out of 10, said, yes, I do. And I'd say, okay, what's the core precept of socialism, you socialists? And they really couldn't answer me because they don't really know. So I said, I'm not really here to argue your side of the argument for you, but I'll do it anyway. I have some time on my hands. Isn't it from each according to his ability to each according to his need? Yeah, that's it. We like that. Okay, all of you kids out there who are socialists, I have an iPhone 5. What do you guys have? And I held up my iPhone, and they have droids, and they have all these other things. I said, I got an iPhone 5. I said, all of you socialists out there, I want you to bring your phones down and put them down to the front of the stage here. Just walk them down, leave them on the stage. What do you want our smartphones for? Oh, I'm not progressive. I'm not going to steal them. I'll tell you what I will do. We're going to take all of your socialist phones and we're going to be talking, all of us together. We're going to go to downtown.
You should how dare you question my motives.
Phones for a bunch of money. You should be able to get $2,000 out of these phones easily. That's $120 bills. And then we're going to take those $20 bills and distribute them to the homeless people in Cleveland. So bring your phones down so we can redistribute the wealth from each according to his ability to each according to his need. Because they're not socialists, they're capitalists, that's why. They're rock-rib capitalists when it comes to their own private property. They're all about redistributing other people's wealth to themselves, but when it's time to redistribute their wealth to somebody else, suddenly they're conservatives. And they know it, and they can't stand being pointed out to them that their Xbox 360, their toy, could feed a family in Africa for a year. So if you're really a socialist, sell the Xbox 360 and distribute the money, but they won't because they know that's their property. Hey, you can't take my phone, this is my phone. I agree. It's not really your phone, your parents bought it for you, but for the sake of the argument, I agree. So it's your stuff, right? That's the second thing. It's your stuff. And finally, the third thing is simple. It's very simple. Don't be a jerk. We believe in virtue. What does virtue mean? It's not a chastity. Virtue just means don't be a jerk. Raise your hand if you think it's okay to be a jerk. Raise your hand if you think it's okay to hit people or take their stuff. How many young people do you think agree that that's okay? None of them. Okay. Don't be a jerk. Don't hit people. Don't take their stuff because
slam their head in the concrete
if you're not a jerk, then
fun.
we can leave you alone. But if you are a jerk, now we need police cars, we need cameras, and we need surveillance, and we need lawyers, and we need judges and bailiffs and prison guards and all the rest. Leave us alone. It's your stuff. Don't be a jerk. They're conservatives. They're on our team. It's not that hard. So I'm out of time, so I just close by telling you this. If we cannot sell something this simple to the American people, if we keep getting bogged down in politics and policy and not talk about philosophy, morality, values in a way that is a story that we don't deserve to win. We don't deserve to win. If we can't do something that simple, we don't deserve to win. So, in a nutshell, what are our two stories? The conservative message versus the big progressive message. If I had to put it in a sentence, I would say this. The conservative message, the conservative view of America is that we are a nation of steely-eyed missilemen with our eyes on a far horizon. We believe in loud guns and hot women and fast cars. We do what we want to do all the time, and we don't like a bunch of high school student council weenies telling us what we can do, when we can do, or how we're going to do it. We believe in prosperity. We believe in hard work, and if you work your tail off and you want to own 7 houses, and if 7 is the limit, then that's your business. If you want to smoke a blunt, that's your business too. It's your business, not my business. We believe in limited energy and the power of the human mind to achieve miraculous goals. We have 6 flags upon the moon, and there's nothing that we can't do if we put our minds to it.
If you smoke your blunt, just don't ask me to bail you out.
Progressive vision for the future. A family of 10,000 humans left on the earth sitting in thatched huts, sitting around burning cow pies, pulling parasites off each other, eating their sustainable algae cakes, and raising money for the Guatemalan water this country, I would abolish the term Tea Party. I had this conversation in high school. I mentioned this in my in my session earlier. Kids said to me,
we have kind
I
of
want
thought
to
about
start a Tea
that too,
Party
just changing the name.
at my high school. What do you think I ought to do? What do you think I ought to sell? I said, don't call it a Tea Party. Don't say Republican. And don't say conservative. Say at 2:30 on Tuesday in room 402 will be a meeting of the Rebel Alliance. Turn to them and say, I'm not allowed to tell you about it. Oh, come on, man. What have we done? We've already set up a curiosity about the story, and we've already put them on the defensive so that they want to be in the story. I really can't talk about it. Really? No. Come on, you got to tell me something. Well, it's not for you. What do you mean it's not for me? It's not for you, dude. You can't handle this. Because if you're going to be a member of the Rebel Alliance, you're going to start out being outnumbered. We're outnumbered 100 to 1 on our best day. Go back to the rest of your pals in the Obama camp and you can all go along your business. You're not fit enough to be a member of the Rebel Alliance, because if you're a member of the Rebel Alliance, you have to know how economics work and history works, and sometimes things aren't as they seem. And it's only through a lifetime of a dedication of a lifetime to our mad Jedi skills that a small handful of us can get into these beat-up X-Wing fighters, get out there and face wave after wave after wave of TIE fighters, roll into that Death Star trench, evade the incoming laser blast, pickle off 2 photon bombs, put them in a hole the size of a pie tin, and get out of there before that Death Star blows up and takes everything with us. So you had better hope that we succeed. The meeting of the Rebel Alliance will be in room 402 at 4:30.